Well, hello everybody. We're back for another Die in the Dungeon playthrough. Today we're going to be trying something different though. I've created a new mode of gameplay just to spice things up a bit, and it's called the Endless Dungeon. So what the Endless Dungeon is a variation of gameplay where you don't play with dungeon tiles. What we do is we get even more dice rolling into the game. I mean, what is this game if it's not for dice rolling? And so in this particular game mode, you're going to keep on fighting until you are dead or until, 5 hours pass and you're tired of playing. I have a funny feeling that I'm not going to last 5 hours though, because the game is called Die in the Dungeon for a reason. And there's a lot of dangerous stuff going on this randomized card. So what this is it's a D100 chart that will tell you a bunch of encounters you're going to face in the dungeon and then a few random benefits. And the ratio is pretty high in favor of the heroes versus benefits. So for every 8 encounters of heroes, there are 2 benefits. So you'll see at 9 and 10, 19, 20, 29, 30, etc. There are benefits that you will gain that might help you survive a little bit longer in the game. But then every other one is an encounter. And the way the encounters are designed is the lowest number on the die rolls are the weakest encounters you're going to face up until the highest encounters. And like any dice game, there's a good chance that you could fight the hardest guy right at the beginning. And so your game could be short, it could be long. There are ways that you can manipulate it, but really the first couple turns may be up to the fate of the dice. And that's why the game, the full game isn't based on this particular mode. It's based on the tile mode, which I think is more eye appealing. But sometimes you want to try something different, and this gives you an option to do that. So without further ado, let's go through how we do that. What do you need to play? Well, you need everything laid out here to play. So what you don't need is you don't need the ability tokens. You don't need the tiles. And you don't really need the standees. So we've got the die roller there watching with envy as the diamond prepares his delve into the dungeon to defeat all these heroes. And you will need lots of dice because this game is nothing if not dice and dice rolling. Now I have set out my stats, and just like the regular game, a d20 is your time, a d4 is your ability points, and the other 4 dice are put where you like between might, agility, magic, and health. So I've set myself to 10 health. I'm a powerful demon with 12 strength, only 8 agility, and I just really don't know how to use my magic very well, so I only have 6 for my magic. So if I fight a lot of wizards, I could be in trouble because my defense is pretty low. I do start with all of my ability cards, keeping in mind that some of the creatures have ability cards that aren't very useful in this version of the game, such as surviving a might roll or a strength roll. And that could change in the final version because we could add stat challenges inside this part of the dungeon, but for now it's just benefits and encounters. Alright, so when the turn starts, just like before, you gain an ability point. So you start the game by getting your first ability point. Now in the regular game, you would lose a time by traveling through the dungeon. In this game, you do not lose time by traveling in the dungeon. There's only 2 ways you're going to lose time. Number 1 is getting defeated by a wizards, because they have the ability to knock your time to bits. And the second one is by manipulating your die rolls. So I decided to use the time die in a different way in this game. And so what happens is when you roll your random D100, whatever result you get, you can modify by as much as you want by using your time points. Now there are a couple of die rolls that will let you gain time, but not enough, at least from what I think, that you can go on forever with rolling for time type of thing. And time only gets you so far because it's really your health that will help you survive. But just like the regular game at the beginning of your turn, you could transfer 3 time into 3 health. So I guess there's 3 ways to lose time: wizards, health, and manipulating die rolls. All right, I forgot to include the hero board. We definitely need to have that in play. So that's the other piece that was missing. I'm not going to leave that on the table. I'll show it to you when we need to, but that is part of the game. The other thing you would need is a time or a point tracker, because you're going to earn points in this game, and we'll talk about that. If you've watched some of the prior videos, you'll know how some of the points are calculated, but maybe not all of them yet. Right, so what we're going to do is we're going to go for our first random encounter. So how do you roll a d100? A d100 can be rolled by taking two 10-sided dice. And in some cases, if you have a magical bag of dice like I might have from my days of RPGing and such, you may actually have dice that have the 10s on them. But if you don't fret. A regular d10 works as well. I would just recommend choosing two colors and saying red is my 10s and green is my 1s, for example. Merry Christmas. If you don't have one of these. So that's what we'll do. We're going to use the red and green just so that we're doing it like the board game box might have. And so what I would do is I would say red is my 10s, green is my 1s. I'd roll my two d10s, and my result is a 3 and a 1, so that means 31. So I take a look at my dungeon chart here, endless dungeon chart, and 31 says I would have to fight a level 2 fighter and a level 2 rogue. Now I could use time to go up to 30, and that seems like a decent deal to me, so let's do that. I use a time, I go down to 19, and now I can gain an ability score +2 or upgrade one of my dice. So I'm playing the safe game here and deciding I'm going to upgrade one of my dice already. So maybe my magic, instead of being a d6, I'm going to upgrade it to a d8. Now, it doesn't say a +2 and upgrade. It says +2 or upgrade. So there's a difference there because one of the things says ability +1 and upgrade. So I stick with my 6 stat, but it's on a d8 instead of a d6. All right. Now, we roll again. So we go on to our next round. I gain an ability point. Dun, dun, dun. Again, your max ability is 4. So reds are 10s, so 46. Take a look at our chart here. 46, I would have to fight a level 1 fighter and a patriarch. Now, if I wanted to, I could use some time and gain a d20 Dominion. I'd have to use 4 time, 1 or 3 time to get up to a 49, or 4 time to get up to a 50. Now 50 wouldn't do me much good right now because it would add 1 to each die, so I could gain a time, but all these are already at their max, so really doesn't do me much good there. And a d20 Dominion is good, but do I want to use 3 time right now to do it? Let's say that I don't. I want to fight a level 1 fighter and a patriarch. So what I would do is I would go to my cards, and that's the encounter I'd have to face. A level 1 fighter and a patriarch. So there's a level 1 fighter and a patriarch. So the way the level 1 fighter works is he's just going to do his usual stat thing. The patriarch, though, has that special ability that they give bonuses to other characters' die rolls. So when the warrior attacks, they get a +3 to their attack roll. I think if I remember correctly, I don't have it written on I have an outdated sheet here. So apologize for being unprepared. I was too excited to dive into the dungeon. So I could use a Dominion ability first if I wanted to. I have 2 ability points, so I could use either of these cards or my demonic fire, and a hero of my choice wouldn't add its stats to an attack or defense for 1 turn. But I'm going to just fight these guys naturally. So the warrior is going to attack. And so they have a 12 plus 4 is 16, which means they get to roll a d20, and they get to add 3 to that roll. So I'm going to say anytime I roll, I'll be red. And anytime the heroes roll, they'll be green, except for their d20, which is black, like their hearts trying to kill my diamond. Okay, so they roll 7 plus 3 is 10. 10 against my 12 might, because that's what warriors attack with, is a miss. So now it's my turn to counterattack. I could go against their might with my d12. I could go against their agility with my d8, or against their magic with my d8. So my best bet would probably be to go against their might, but looking here, it's going to be a tough win because I'd have to roll a 12 plus, they already have a 16 defense. So the only way I could beat them is with a 17 or an 18, which means I need to roll my d12 and more. So a patriarch is considered a cleric. You know what? I'm going to use my Deity Crush actually as my ability point. My ability, I could have used that before they attack, so I'm down to 1. But I'll never be able to kill a cleric again with a card because that card goes away. But I kill a cleric, and a patriarch is considered a cleric. So remember that if you're playing with a Dominion, that's one way to smash this guy. So how do you gain points? Well, anytime you defeat a hero, you gain a number of points equal to their level. Patriarch should actually be a level 5 because there are level 4 heroes. So we'll make a note of that. So we're going to gain 5 points for the patriarch, and so he'll come back later, I'm sure. Now the warrior gets to attack me. They get to attack with a d4 because they've got 4 might now. They rolled a 2, which is a miss, and now I'm going to attack back with I could roll my might, but instead I'm going to roll my d8 for magic against their 1 defense. So 7 against their 1, I've defeated the level 1 warrior. And the level 1 warrior will give me 1 point, so I'm up to 6 points. Alright, on to the next round. So I gain an ability point, back up to 2. I'm going to choose not to heal. I'm going to roll my dungeon dice, 21. 21, we refer to the chart. 21 is level 1 wizard, level 1 wizard, level 1 cleric, level 1 cleric. Or I could use 1 or 2 points to gain something. So let's say that I'm going to use 2 time. So I'm down to 17, and I'm going to gain a d8 Dominion. So what happens is over my pile of Dominions, I can grab a d8 Dominion and add it to my collection of Dominions. So my Dominions, I started the game with 1. I guess I could put them where you can see them. Dominions can be used to bolster your attacks after you roll, in case you're having troubles defeating them on your own. Like when I was trying to defeat that patriarch, I wouldn't have been able to do a natural roll. All right. Whoops, knocking things around here. We're going to continue through the dungeon. I will gain another ability point, so I'm up to 3. If I can find a 3. And we have a 28. A 28 says I would have to fight a level 2 wizard, or if I use a time, I could gain a Dominion, or if I use 2 time, I could gain ability +2 or upgrade. Now keep in mind, when you're upgrading, you can never have 2 dice, more than 2 dice that are the same type. So you always start with 1 d20 times, so you can only ever have one other d20, up to 2 d12s, up to 2 d10s, etc. So we're going to try that out. This is going to be the most pumped this character's ever going to get. So we're going to use 2 time, be down to 15, and we are going to upgrade a die. So we're going to upgrade my die there, and we're going to turn that into a nice beefy d20, which will still be on a 12. So my might attack just got stronger. I've been taking diamond drugs. Tough guy. All right, roll again. We have a 60. All right, so we rolled a 68. Sorry, I just had to revise this because I accidentally printed the same side on both sides. That has since been remedied. Anyhow, so 68. First time we rolled above 50. 68 says a random level 2, level 3, and level 4 enemy. That could be a mighty battle. I could keep trying to use time. I could gain 2d6 Dominions or do a stat +1 end upgrade. So that will cost me 2 time. If I go down to 13 time, I'm putting myself in danger if I ever have to fight wizards, by the way. And now I could pick a die to gain +1 end upgrade. So I'm going to choose my health. So I'm going to turn it from a 10 to a d12 and then +1 it. So I'm actually going to be an 11 on my d12. All right. Keeping on with the game, I could use a time to heal a health now if I wish. So let's do that. I'm down to 12 time, and I'm resting to gain 1 health. So I'm fully capable of smashing stuff. No more d6s, I just have d8s and d12 and d20 now. Force to be reckoned with. Let's see what we face in the dungeon. We have a 57. 57 pits us up against a level 2 rogue and a level 2 rogue, or we could use time to gain a Dominion or use an ability free. I am at max ability, by the way, because I've had a couple turns now. So we're at a d4 for abilities. So So why don't we... I'm supposed to fight a level 2 rogue. I could gain 2, or lose 2, so I'm down to half my time of it. But I gain a d20 Dominion. And at the beginning of my next turn, or actually during this turn, I'm going to summon 2d6 Dominion tokens by using that. So we summon 2d6 Dominion tokens. I've got lots of Dominions at my disposal. And then at the beginning of my turn, I gain an ability point. All right. Roll them dice. Continue. 23. So 23 puts us up against level 1 fighter, level 1 fighter, level 1 fighter. You know what? I think I'm good with that. I don't think I want to spend any more health right now, or time right now. So I'm going to grab 3 level 1 fighters and show them that they found the wrong demon to mess with, because I'm a diamond. Alright, so 3 fighters. I have 1 ability point. I'm going to choose not to use it. I don't even think I need my Dominions at this point, but the warriors get to attack me. Now, when there are multiple warriors, they get bonuses to their attack. So they're going to roll a d20, and for each extra guy, they get +1 to their might roll. So instead of a d12, they'll still roll a d12, because that's what their total might is. But, did I lose my d12s? No. They're going to add 2, because there's 2 extra guys. So they're going to roll their d12. They have to beat my 12 might. They have a 3 plus 2 is not over 12, so they miss. So now I get to attack. Now they've got almost nothing for magic, so I'm going to do a magic attack with a d12. Roll an 11 and squish one of them fighters to a pulp. Now they get to attack. They've only got a d8 now because they've only got 8 might. They roll a 2 plus 1 is 3 is a miss. So now I get to attack back against their magic. A 2. Only a 2 I could use. Oh, I'm rolling the wrong die. I was only supposed to roll a d8 last time. Cheater. We'll say I missed this turn to make up for that, because I kind of did. Alright, so they attack me with their d8. A 5 is a miss against my 12. So now I attack back with my magic d8, not d12. A 4 is a hit, so I burn that guy up. Now this guy, he's caught in a corner. He's got his mighty die sword. He rolls it. A 3, that's a miss. So I'm going to finish him off. Squished. Flawless victory for the diamond. Alright, we go on to my next turn. I gain an ability point. And I see where we go in this endless dungeon. 54. 54 takes us to... Ooh. So when you get anywhere in the 54, 55s, it becomes very hard to want to use your time to gain benefits. Now you could maneuver your time to lower your die rolls to fight something easier, or you could even fight something harder if it's something that you're particularly good against. So if I was a high level wizard, I might want to go against these 2 fighters, knowing that fighters have the weakest defense. But anyway, rolling that 45. I got to make sure I read the right die. I said red was my d10s. 45 is a warlock. So I would go up against a single warlock, or I could use time to change it to an assassin or a patriarch. But we'll go with the warlock. That's what it says to fight. So a warlock. I can't remember if I gained an ability. I always rush to my next turn. I always forget about ability points. So if you're ever playing this game, try to remember to get your ability points. They're important. So the warlock. While the warlock is in the party, my magic stat is reduced by 5. And if I do a magic attack roll, it's also reduced by 5. So they only need to roll a 3 or higher to hit my magic. That's okay. I'm going to let them hit me. They get to roll a d20. And against a 3. And that is hard to see that there. That's a 5, so it's still a hit. Just no bonus damage. So I take a damage. I will take it to my health. So I'm down to 11. I'm okay. I will attack the warlock with my powerful strength. They've only got a 4. I've got a d20 to roll. I rolled a 1. Oh, that warlock is pretty sneaky. He dodged all my attacks and made me trip on my own 2 feet. So the warlock attacks back. They rolled a 2. That is a miss. Or 6 minus 5 is a 1. So a 2 is actually a hit against me. I was reading the wrong die before. Or is that supposed to be an 8? No, that's still a 6. Yeah, so I take a damage. I'm down to 10. Now I'm going to attack back with my might. I rolled a 19. Now that is a hit, so we take down the Warlock. Warlock only has to be hit once as well. Excellent job, Diamond. We'll go for my next turn. I will gain an ability point, so I'm back up to 3 ability points. And what do we have to fight? Red is 10s. 7-0. Hey, that's a natural benefit one. What do we have on 70? 70 gives me a stat +1 and an upgrade. So I can now improve my magic from a D6 to a D10 on a 6 and then add 1. So I'm up to 7. Excellent. Well, that actually settles nicely into a D6 holder. That's something good to remember. When designing these die holders, the fewer I have to mold with the manufacturer, the cheaper it would be for you and me to have this game. All right. So now we go on to our next turn. I gain another ability point. I'm up to 4. Roll those dice. You know what I haven't been tracking? My victories. Oy. I beat 3 fighters that were level 1, so that was a point each. I beat a warlock, so that brings me to 14. I think that might have been all the battles that I've had. Haven't fought any rogues or wizards or clerics yet, so. A 96, so 6 has a number under it, a 96. I only have 10 time left, keep that in mind. I can't manipulate the dice too much longer. This would make me fight 1 level 4 rogue. I think I could manage that. I don't think I need to change that. So, level 4 rogue. There we go. They don't get to do any sneak attacks, so they just get to do 1 attack against me. I have 4 ability points, so it might make sense to use an ability point. I could summon 2 D6 Dominions. Let's do that. I'm going to use all 4 ability points to summon some more Dominions. The demon likes to have bonuses. Alright, the rogue's going to attack me. They get a 20 on their agility. They rolled a 10 or a 3. That is a miss. So now I get to attack the rogue. I'm going to attack with my might. 17 is a hit and destroy the rogue. So I get 4 points for that. Smash. And again, remember, this is just a trial. So I could have really underpowered the enemies or overpowered myself with too many benefits in the game. We will see how this goes. 86. So look at the chart. 86 is a paladin and an assassin. That's a little bit more dangerous than what I just fought against. Oh, I have 1 ability point, by the way. Don't forget that. 86, a paladin and an assassin. I could change it to a group of 4 guys, which might even be worse. Could change it to a warlock patriarch or a grow. So we'll go with 86, paladin, assassin. One thing I was thinking now that I've played it is that you can only adjust your die roll you can never adjust your die roll 2 turns consecutively. And that reminds me of the Novus game that I made where you can never explore twice in a row. And this way you can never manipulate the die roll twice in a row. And that might make you less likely to manipulate certain die rolls if you know that you could survive against it. Anyway, off on a tangent. So 1 ability point up against a paladin and an assassin. So they have a combined might of 30, a combined agility of 26, and a combined magic of 16. So it's going to be extremely difficult to score a hit against them. Thankfully, I have an army of Dominions to help me out. Or I could use my 1 ability point for some demonic fire. And a hero of my choice doesn't even add its stats to their attack or defense this turn. So you know what? I'm going to use that ability point and make that guy, for a single turn, not for the whole battle, just for a turn, his stats don't matter. So now the assassin has an ability. They can't be defeated until other heroes are defeated. So if I attack, I have to attack the paladin. And it takes 2 hits to defeat the paladin. After it's hit once, rotate it 90 degrees. If it's hit again, it's defeated. So this could be a really tough battle, because my free attack isn't even going to kill the paladin. But first, the assassin gets to attack. They have a 26 agility, so here they go. They're going to roll. They have a 19 critical strike. If the heroes succeed on an agility attack, which they just did, deal 1 additional agility damage. So I'm taking some damage. And while the paladin's in the party, each other hero has a bonus to their agility anyway. So yeah, that guy was big. So that's definitely a hit. I'm going to take 2 damage. I can take 2 to my agility or 2 to my health. We're going to take it right to the health. Keeping my stats up. Make it harder to hit. And they don't get to attack with their might this turn. Well, it doesn't say they don't attack. My ability just says they don't add their abilities, so he's still going to attack as well. So that should have been the might roll, but we'll do the might roll now. They have a might roll of only 10 instead of the usual 30 they would have had. So they're going to attack with a d10, and they rolled a 9, so that is a miss. Alright, so now it's my turn to attack. I'm going to go against their, I could do a d10 against their magic of 16. Otherwise, this is going to be a very difficult battle. Or I can use lots of dominions. I'm going to use the magic attack for sure. So d10 against, actually it's a d10 against a 6 because his stats don't apply for a single turn. So d10 against a 6. A 9, that's a hit. So I hit the paladin once. I'm going to rotate him 90 degrees as the rules state. And for this next round of combat, he's full force. So they're going to attack with their might of 30. Rolled a 4, so that's a miss. They're going to attack with their agility of 26 plus 1. What's that? That is a 3. So 3 against my agility, even with the bonus, is a miss. So thankfully I did not get hit by the assassin, because that would have taken 2 more damage. Now I get a chance to retaliate. I'm going to attack against their magic, rolling my d10. And I'm probably going to be using some dominions to survive this battle, because these kind of enemies are tough. I rolled a 10 against their 16, so I need to get at least 6 more points. So I'm going to use a d6 dominion. So I have 10. I'm going to add d6. I have 15, and I'm going to use another d6 dominion. Here we go. So now I have 17 against their 16, so that's a hit. I destroy the paladin. Goodbye, Mr. Righteous. Leaving the assassin on his own to attack me. With a 16, they still get a d20, so it's still a dangerous battle here. A 12 against my agility of 8 is a hit. I take twice as much damage, an additional agility damage because it's an assassin. So I'll take it to the health. I'm okay with that right now. Not quite in the danger zone yet. I can still... Alright, now I get a chance to attack back. I can use a d10 to attack against their magic, a d20 to attack against their might. I think that's a safe bet. A d20 against his 10 might. Survey says I got a 10. So the only way I can boost that up is with a dominion, adding to my roll, or I can use one of my might, which I will. I'm down to 11 might, to modify my die roll by 1 to bring it to 11, which defeats the assassin. Whew, that was a tough battle. Now, I just beat 2 of those big guys, so I get 10 points for that, 5 for each. Whew. So despite all the benefits I thought I just racked up, that was a very difficult battle. And in the real game, you don't ever fight 2 epic heroes together, because they are quite tough, and they're not only their stats, but their benefits really did a number on me there. Now, I'm going to use 3 points of time, so I'm down to 7 time, getting dangerously low, to increase my health from 6 to 9. I had a rest after that battle. That was a tough one. I gained an ability point, and we proceed in the dungeon. D10s are red as the 10s, a 38. So we roll a 38. 38 says we would fight 2 random level 2 heroes. Or I could use my time that I keep spending like mad to gain another dominion, or a upgrade to a stat, or a stat plus 2. Whew. We're going to fight 2 random level 2s. So when you fight a random creature, I don't have the customized die yet. Those are hopefully coming by the end of the month from my Game Crafter game. I'm going to roll a d6. A 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 is lose a health, and a 6 is I get to pick what I fight against. So first one is a 5, so I lose a health no matter what. I cannot take it away in any other way. So I go from 9 health down to 8 health. It's like I got stabbed in the back in the dungeon, or they laid a trap for me that I couldn't defend against. The second random roll is a 2, so I fight against a single level 2 rogue because the dungeon said level 2. So there we go, level 2 rogue. I'm not going to use any ability points against it, so the rogue always gets to attack first. The heroes always get the first strike. They rolled a... oh, I don't know why I'm rolling a d20. They only get a d8. They've got 8. So they rolled a 7 against my 8 agility. That is a miss. So now I get to attack back. I will roll against their magic, which they have almost none, so I get a d10 against that piddly little magic of theirs. I'm going to burn this rogue up. I rolled a 2, so he almost dodged the flames, but he has perished. And that was a level 2 hero, so I gained 2 points. I'm up to 30. Next round, gain an ability point. Dun, 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 dun. Roll. Where am I going in this dungeon? A 21. A 21 would be 1, 2, 3, 4 heroes. Or I can, you know what? I'm going to spend that time. So I go from 7 down to 6. And when I go down to 6, it brings me to 20. Health plus 2 or upgrade. I'm going to take that health. So instead of using 2 time, I used 1 time to gain 2 health. It's a better ratio. Might survive 1 more attack there. Go to the next round. I gain an ability point. We have a 45. I don't think I'm going to manipulate that roll too much. 45. There's that warlock. Do I want to fight the warlock? Gonna strike down my magic. Yes, we do. We fight the warlock. I've got 3 ability points. Intimidation. You know what? I'm just gonna fight him. He's just gonna attack me with his. That's not a warlock. He's gonna attack me with his magic. Rolled a 15, which is a hit. And the warlock, if the heroes succeed on a magic attack, destroy a dominion of the player's choice. So the warlock is particularly good at hit me where it hurts, and that's right in the dominions. So bam, burned up a dominion as he was attacking me, and I still take a damage, so I'll be down to 9. Still very much alive in this game, so yeah, this could be a long game. I'm going to attack the warlock back. I'm going to use might and crush him in a pulpy mess. 18, that would do the job. Kill the warlock and gain 5 points. Up to 35. But he slew one of my dominions. Alright. Progress through the dungeon. I gain an ability point, so I'm up to 4 now. I could make dominions, or I could... You know what? I can wait to the end of the turn to make dominions. Let's see what we fight first. I might want to use one of my cards if I have to fight something truly epic. So we have an 80. 80 is actually a good number. An 80 gets us a health plus 1 and a time plus 1. So we go back up to 10 health and gain another time. Back up to 7 time. I'll take that. Continue in the dungeon. 42. Swap it over. A 42. I'm going to fight a warlock again. That's reasonable. I don't mind fighting these warlocks. They give me points. Oh yeah, I was going to fight a warlock and decide what I want to do with my ability points. So I'm actually going to use my ability points to gain 2d6 dominions. And the warlock shall attack with their magic. That is a hit for sure. 12 against my 7, which is reduced by 5 to 2. So I will take a damage. And when he hits me, he kills a dominion. So I might have used some ability points to get dominions, but easy come, easy go. I attack back with my might. A 20. I just burned your face off that you don't even have, warlock. Alright, go to my next turn. I gain an ability point. I'm not going to heal. I'm going to keep pursuing the dungeon. A 56. 56, that will give us a level 2 fighter and a level 2 fighter, unless I wanted to manipulate. We can fight 2 level 2 fighters, that's not a big deal. Drop them down. I will not use an ability, so they're going to attack me. They have a total of 12 attack, or 12 might, so they get a d12 to attack with. Against my 11, that's not likely to hit. 5 is a miss, so I get to attack them. I'm going to go with... Now their might is 12. I probably stand a better chance using my magic attack, a d10 against their 4. That's a miss. They get to attack back with their might. I forgot they get to add 1 to their roll here. I don't like this one because it has a color missing. Let's find another die. Let's use this one. 12 plus 1 is 13 against my 11, so that is a hit. And if the heroes roll a 10 or higher on a might roll, they deal an additional damage. So I'm going to take 2 might damage or 2 health damage. We'll take the 2 health damage. I'm still in good shape. You can't take me down that easy. I will attack them with my magic. 6 against their 4. I've destroyed 1 level 2 hero. This might be good to catch my points now because I probably forgot. I forgot the last one, the warlock. So I should be at 42. The warrior attacks me. They're down to a d6 to attack. They rolled a 2, which is a miss. I fight him against his magic and I take him down. So up to 44 points now. The warrior is dead. Gain an ability point on my next turn. 7 time left. It's risky against wizards. Once you get below 10, you really got to be careful because if you hit a group of wizards, it's going to hurt. And you might be able to save your time to dodge said wizards. 83. 83 on the board says a level 3 wizard and a level 3 wizard. So see what I mean? I could use time to dodge wizards or potentially lose time fighting wizards. What do I want to do? I could fight against 2 level 3 rogues. I think I'd actually rather fight the wizards than the rogues because at least... Maybe not. Well, might against wizards is better. So yeah, you know what? We're going to fight the wizards. So we find 2 level 3 wizards, which are actually pretty tough. Because they scale up as the game progresses. So level 3 wizards, here we are. And fighting 2 of them. So they are... Did I gain an ability point? I missed it again, didn't I? Dominion support, I don't think I need. I'm going to save my abilities, so that means they get to attack. They have 20 magic combined. Oh, and for each wizard in the party beyond the first, I immediately lose a time. So there's 2 wizards. So it's only when they enter battle, it's not each turn, but I immediately lose 1 time. And now they get to attack with a d20, and if they hit, I'm going to lose time as well. So time is dangerously low. They only rolled a 6, so 6 against my 7. They actually missed with their magic. Lucky me. So now I get to strike them with my might. Blast them in the beard. I rolled a 4 against their 2, so that is a hit. Destroy one of these guys. Gain 3 points. Now they get to attack. They only have a d10 now, so they're not likely to take away my... Yeah, 4 is a miss. So I attack with my might. Tear off his beard, shove him in a hole, and continue in the dungeon. Morbid? Maybe. I'm just a little demon. Next turn. 3 ability points now. Climbing back up there. Random dungeon roll. 64. And the survey says a paladin and a cleric. Now a paladin has to be hit twice. And you have to kill the cleric first, so that is going to be a tough battle to fight. But it's probably easier than fighting 4 different dudes. Or there's the assassin. You know what? I'm going to use a time, so I'll be down to 5 time. And I'd rather fight the assassin and the rogue than the paladin and the cleric. So let's check that out. Assassin and a level 1 rogue. So they have a total of 20 agility that they would definitely hit me with, and they get a free attack for each rogue in the party beyond the first. The heroes get an extra agility attack, so they get to attack me twice on the first round of combat. We're gonna go down to 2, and we're gonna negate this guy's stats for the turn. So he still triggers an attack, but his stats don't apply. So they get to attack with agility 2 times in a row, but only with a d4 against my 8. The only way they're gonna hit is on a 4. So the first one is a miss with a 3. Second one is a miss with a 3. Now I get to attack back. I'm going to go... They've only got 12 might, so let's do a might attack. We're going to squish their bones in my mighty claws. 12 against their 12. That's a miss. I'm going to use a might to make sure I hit. And we will... Oh, right. The assassin has that special perk. The assassin can't be defeated till the other heroes are defeated. Wham. So we kill the rogue first. That's fine. Now the assassin gains +2 to might and agility once they're on their own. They fight much better solo. So the assassin's going to attack. Their stats are back to normal because my demonic fire is now gone. So they're going to roll a d20 and they're going to actually add 2. So they have an 18 agility. It's only good for their defense. So 3 is a miss. I get to attack back. I'm going to keep on attacking with my might. 2 is a miss, and I don't have enough stats to even bother with that. And this guy's not worth a Dominion strike. So he's going to attack me. Rolled a 10 against my 8 agility as a hit. And so it's called a critical strike. And I'm going to take 2 agility damage. So we'll take 1 here. Bring it down to 7. And we'll take 1 health, because I can split it up as I choose. Alright, dying in the dungeon, down to half health and not much time. I will attack back with my might. A 20. I have killed the assassin, gain 5 points for that. And I should also gain, I might have already gained that point. So 55 points now. Alright, gain an ability point, back up to 3. I'm not going to heal. I don't have enough time to play around with that. I think healing is off the table. 72. And the dungeon says 72 is a level 3 rogue. Or I could use time to do a stat and upgrade, but I'm just going to fight that rogue. I think I can handle a single peasantry rogue. So there we go. Level 3 rogue, 412-4. Will not use an ability, so he will attack me with a d12. Rolled a 3, which is a miss against my 7, so now I'm going to might him to death. My 10 might squishes him. I gain 3 points, up to 58. You're no match against my might. Gain an ability point, I'm up to 4 ability points. Puts me in good shape. I still have 3 cards. 56. 56 on here tells us we have a level 2 fighter and a level 2 fighter. That's not going to get much better than that. So we will fight those 2 level 2 fighters. We happen to have already done that recently. And I think I'm going to use all 4 of my powers to gain 2 d6 dominions. So if I get stuck fighting an epic battle, which I could any time now, I will be prepared. The warriors are going to attack with a d12. For each warrior beyond the first, they get bonuses to their attack roll. So roll a d12. They have a 6 plus 1 is 7. That's a miss. So I get to fire in. I'm going to use my magic attack, which is a d10 here. 9 is a hit. We've killed a warrior, gained 2 points. Warrior's going to attack with a d6 now. 3 is a miss. I attack with my magic and take out him, gain 2 more points. So we're up to 62 points. Killed a couple more warriors and continue on my quest. Gain 1 ability point. Roll my dungeon dice. 69. Gain 2d6 dominions. Or I could use a time to gain a stat upgrade, but we'll take the dominions. Look at that army. Look at that army. Intense. Gain an ability point. Can't forget this wonderful thing. 2. 55. 55. It takes a lot to manipulate that roll. Level 1 cleric, level 2 rogue, level 2 wizard. Let's do it. First cleric that we fought this game. Level 2 rogue, level 2 wizard. Thought we just killed some level 2 rogues. Maybe not. Level 2 rogue, level 2 wizard. That's a 3. I always like to put them in the sequence of their attacks, just so I can envision them. Alright, so they do not get a might attack. I could use an ability to render one of them useless, or I could use some die in the flames, roll a magic attack for each hero in combat. Give me a chance to wipe them out. Intimidation. We're going to use 2 ability points to play this card called Dominion Support, just because I want to. So the next time I attack, I'm going to add 2d6 and something special will happen. But first they get to attack me. The rogue gets to attack first. There's no other rogues, so they don't get bonus attacks. They just get a single attack. A 5 against my 7 agility is a miss. The wizard gets to attack. Why did I roll a d20? That's a great question. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. That's why. For magic, 8, 9, 10, 11. So they get to roll a d12 for magic against my 7 magic. 2, that is a miss. And the cleric doesn't do anything, they're just a protector. So my turn to retaliate. They've only got 5 might, so let's use that might. My power, 16 is definitely a hit. So we wipe the cleric out because that's our only option when a cleric is in the battle. Okay, the rogue attacks with a total of 11, so they get to roll a d12. 4 is a miss. They're not doing so hot. Magic is a 9, so they're down to a d10 for magic. 2 is a miss. I get to smite them back with my super 16. I will take out the... It's about the same, 7, 7, so we'll take out the wizard, sure. The rogue gets to attack me with a d8. Got a 2, which is a miss, and I will might them. That's a hit. Now, I should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points for that entire battle, so 67. Roar! We go to the next round, gain an ability point. Not going to use my time. Going to keep on to my endless dungeon dive. So right now this game is at a point where it is longer than the core game, because it really is endless. 65. We have an assassin and a level 1 rogue up against us. Do we want to fight them? Yes, we do, because I can't afford the time not to fight them, because I used too much time in the beginning of the game getting benefits. Assassin and a level 1 rogue. I have 1 ability point. I could negate the assassin's power. Oh, I didn't even use my Dominion support last time, so I'm actually up to 4. Alright, so we'll use the Dominion support this time to show you how it works. So, I'm going to roll. Well, first they get to attack me, though, so I don't have to use the Dominion support yet. So the assassins attack me. They get 1 extra attack because there's 2 thief classes in here. Their agility is a total of 20, so they get a d20. They rolled a 20, so that is a hit. Now we've got a terrible combination here. When you put 2 thieves together with one being an assassin, they really are devastating, because what happens is if they roll a 15 or higher on the first agility attack in combat, they perform 1 more agility attack. So now they're going to get a bonus agility attack, and I take 2 damage from agility because, yeah, that's what happens. I'm going to take 1 of each. 1 here and 1 on my agility. And now they get to attack me with agility a bonus time because they have a rogue, and 1 more time after that because of the sneak attack. So 17, they don't get to have endless free attacks, just once per combat round. So that's a hit, and it's an agility attack, so I take 2 damage. I will go down to 4 health, and I'll lose another agility down to 5. And now their freebie attack. A 4 against my 5 is a miss. Whew. So I get a chance to attack back. Now I'm just going to use my Dominion support. So I'm going to use 2. And I'm going to, because the assassin has to be the last one killed, I'm going to add 2d6 to an attack roll of any kind. I'm going to attack against their magic because that's the weakest thing they have compared to my dice. And I think I rolled a 7, and now I add 2d6. 7 plus 6 is 13. If I roll higher than 2 times their stat value, then I defeat 2 heroes instead of 1. So their stat value was 7. I rolled 13, which is not higher than double, so I don't kill them both. I only get to kill one, and I'm only allowed to kill the rogue because the assassin says so. I gained 1 whole point for that mess. That was a hard-earned point right there. But the assassin's pissed off. He gets to attack me back. He's got a 16, so a d20. If he rolls higher than 10, or he doesn't have that ability. 16. So that is definitely a hit. I'm going to take 2 damage. I'm at 4, so I will take 2 damage directly to agility. Not quite as fast as I used to be. I keep getting stabbed in the legs by these crazy assassins. My turn to attack back. I will attack with my might this time, up against his 10 might. I have a d20. An 8 is a miss. I'm going to use a d6 Dominion to give that 8 a boost of 2, so I'm up to 10. I'll use another d6. Actually, you know what? I'll use that. So now I'm up to 11 to kill the assassin, because I don't want to fight him again. He does too much damage. 71 points now as I die in the dungeon. These heroes don't stop coming. They're relentless. It's like they want goodness in the world. How dare they? Next round, I gain an ability point up to 3. I will sacrifice 1 time for 1 health. We're getting close to the end, I think. 5 health, 4 time. Does not bode well. Remember, this is a game you cannot win. This is die in the dungeon for real. Alright, 46. 46, we have a level 1 fighter and a patriarch want to come at me. I'm not going to use time. Thankfully, they have nothing to destroy my time. There we go. This is what we're up against. I've got 3 ability points, so I could intimidation. Each hero card in combat is reduced down by 1 level. Epic heroes are immune, so I think I'm going to leave that one. Don't have enough for intimidation. I don't have enough to summon 2 Dominions. But I could, you know what, I'll use my demonic fire to make his stats not valuable this turn. So the warrior's going to attack. All they have is a 4 might because the patriarch does not participate this turn. They rolled a 3 against my 9. That's a miss. So now I get to attack back. I must kill the patriarch first because that's the way the cookie crumbles. Oh yeah, I forgot to say they get +3 from the patriarch, but that's still a miss. I will attack them in... They've got 16 might. I gotta go for might. 16 might. That's a big number. Oh, wait, they don't count for this 1 turn, so you know what? I will attack their magic because I have 1 chance to wipe that guy out. Magic, I got a 7 against the 1, so patriarch is dead before my demonic fire ran out. The warrior's going to attack me with a d4. I rolled a 2, that's a miss. I'll attack the magic, that's a hit. The warrior's dead, so I get 6 more points. Bring me up to 76. Gain an ability point. I can't really afford to gain any more health. I could die from time if I do, so I will continue in the dungeon. 75. Ooh, that's right in the middle. I can't tweak that at all. 75. Level 1 rogue, level 3 cleric. Ooh. Let's do that. Level 3 cleric, level 1 rogue. They don't have any duplicates, so we're good there. The rogue gets to attack first if I don't use a power. I will not use a power. So he's going to attack me with a D10 agility. My agility is only a 3, so they have a good chance of hitting. They roll a 3, so that is a miss. They have to roll higher then. And they don't have another attack, so I get to attack them now. I'm going to attack with my might. They've got 8 combined might. I rolled an 8. I will reduce that to an 8 to turn my 8 into a 9. And the cleric shall die. Horrible death. The rogue attacks me. All they have is a D4, so that's not likely, but a 3 is a miss. I will attack him with my might and crush that rogue against the wall. So that was level 3. 4 total points I earned for that, up to 80. We gain an ability point. I'm up to 4 ability points again. Could summon so many dominions if I want to. Delve in the dungeon. We have a 19. That is a good number. We haven't had a standard good number in a while. Gain a D8 dominion. If there's no D8s available, you gain the next lowest one. Unless it's a 2-player game. I will use my Dominion power to gain 1 Dominion because I don't have any more D6s left and you're not allowed to make more than what exists. Beginning my next turn, I gain an ability point. Roll for my Delve in the Dungeon. We have a 0-2. 1 level 1 rogue. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Gonna take you down, little rogue. I'm not going to waste my time with an ability on him, so he's just going to attack me with a D4. See if he pokes. 2 is a miss. I attack him with my might. Oh, a 2 is a miss. He attacks me. A 1 is a miss. I attack him. 15 is a hit. Kill that level 1 rogue. So 81 points. Gain an ability point back up to 2. Roll for the dungeon. It's getting dangerous now. My ability to manipulate the die rolls are quite minimal. A 94. Ooh. So 94 is a level 4 fighter. And right. And so what it says is 1 hero of your choice does not add its stats to its attack or defense for 1 turn. That doesn't read well when you're fighting against a single guy, because if I use my demonic fire, which I will, so I'm down to 1 point. So what happens is he doesn't have any defense, so I automatically defeat him when I roll my attack. Doesn't seem like a good power anymore, does it? You're gonna have to rewrite that one. So when playtesting, sometimes you come across things in that you don't realize until you've played the game for quite some time. So I attack. A 1 against a 0, still a death. So he's down to gain 4 points. I'm up to 85. That one seemed like an unfair battle, but hey, I'm a demon. What do you do? I'm not nice. I go up to 2 ability points. We roll. We have a 0-6. 0-6 is something weak. It's a level 1 rogue and a level 1 cleric. Dun, dun, dun. I don't want to do anything devastating against them, so they get to attack. They have, for agility, a d6. So they roll their 6. They got a 5. That is a hit against my agility. So I will take 1 damage. Down to 4. I attack back. I will attack with might and kill their cleric, so that's going to be worth a point after. The rogue gets to attack me with a d4. They could hit. No, a 2. I attack back and finish him off. So I gain 2 points for that little ordeal. This endless die in the dungeon, it's not over yet. We're going to keep on going. It's not over till it's over. I'm at 4 health, 3 ability points, 4 time, and here we go. 85. That's a little bit higher than a 6. This is going to be a tough one. 85. Paladin and Assassin. Ooh. If I used a time, I could fight a warlock and a patriarch or an army of people. If I fought an army of people, I could use Die in the Flames. Yeah, we're gonna... Oh, I don't have 4 ability points. Okay. Oh, that was Intimidation. So yeah, we're gonna use a time, go down to 3. We're gonna fight against 80... Oh, no, 85 is what I wanted, so I don't have to use a time. Okay. So normally we would have a level 2 fighter, a level 2 rogue, a level 3 wizard, and a level 1 cleric. I'm going to use my Intimidation. Epic heroes are immune, but there's no epic heroes here. Each hero card is reduced down by 1 level, with the lowest level being 1. So instead of a level 2 fighter, it's a level 1 fighter. Instead of a level 2 rogue, it's a level 1 rogue. Instead of a level 3 wizard, it's a level 2 wizard. Instead of a level 1 cleric, it's still a level 1 cleric. So use my 3 ability points to make that happen. And now they get to attack me. It doesn't look like a tough battle because they're all low level, but once they get together, these heroes are dangerous. So for might, they've got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 might. They get to roll a d10 for might against me. 4, that is a miss. For agility, 2, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. They get to roll a d12 for agility. They rolled a 4 against my 3. That is a hit, so I'm going to take a damage. Down to 3. This little party could be the one that finishes me off. Who knows? They still get a magic attack. Their magic is 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. An 11 for their magic attack. That is a hit. I will take the magic damage instead. So I'm down to 6. Alright. So that's all of their attacks when they get together with an assortment motley crew. They each get an attack which makes a variety of heroes more dangerous sometimes than a group of the same hero. So what am I going to do about it? Well, I'm going to have to just attack their might. I think that's my safest bet. I only rolled a 2 though, and I can't afford to get hit a couple more times, so I'm actually going to use a Dominion against this party. I'll use my d20 Dominion because I rolled so low. So I have 2 plus 18 is 20, so I will kill something. I have no choice but to kill the cleric. That's why I really needed to take something out, because I was already going to get hit 3 times in a row. Or attacked 3 times in a row. Alright, so the warrior attacks 4, 5, 6, 7. They get to roll a d8 now, a little bit weaker. 8 against my 8 is a miss, but this is the first time we've had this game. If they roll their max die roll, regardless of my stat, I take the damage. So I must get hit. I will take the might damage. Now, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 for agility. A 4 against my 3, that's a hit. I will take agility damage instead of health damage, because I can't afford much more. These guys are taking a toll. The wizard attacks 8, 9, 10, d10. They rolled a 1, they missed. My turn, I attack back. Go on might all the way. My might is a 20. I will destroy that wizard. Yes, yes I will. Alright, they attack me with a d6 for their might. 4 is a miss. And a d6 for agility, which is a hit. I will be down to 2 health. I will attack them with might or magic. I will actually attack with magic this time because they've got poor magic defense. That's a hit. We will kill the rogue because that's actually more dangerous than the warrior. The warrior attacks with a d4. I need a 4 to hit. That's a miss. I attack their magic. A 2, that's a hit. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points. I score for that. So I'm at 92 points. That was a tough victory. Look at all the dimensions I have, and I'm not even using them because I'm getting swarmed instead of epic battles. Alright, gain a point. I will lose 1 time to gain 1 health because I want to. And I'm still trying to purge this dungeon every last breath. A 63. We have ourselves a level 1. Oi, 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 oi. Lots of guys coming up. 1, 2, 3 wizards and a 63. If I fight those 3 wizards, I'm going to lose 2 times. And if those wizards hit me, I'm going to lose another time. So it's in my best interest to lose at least 1 time to fight something other than wizards. Let's go up against the paladin and the cleric. Let's do that. So paladin comes back. Oh, that one doesn't make sense though. So that one I will have to fix because the paladin and the cleric don't actually fight because, yeah. So I will have to fix that. We're going to do level 1 paladin, level 1 fighter because that's the way that works. I'm going to use Demonic Fire to make his powers not active this turn. They're going to attack me with a D4 for might. That's a 2, that's a miss. I'm going to attack their might with a D20. 15 against their 16. I will Dominion for D6. 16, I will Dominion D6. There we go. We kill the Patriarch. Oosh. Now the warrior attacks with their D4. 4, that's a hit. Shabam. I will take 1, so I'm down to 6 might. I will attack them with my might. A 7 is a hit. Crush that warrior, so I get a total of 6 points for that battle. Up to 98. Next turn, I gain an ability point. I cannot possibly risk healing. We go to 43. The end is nigh. 43. A paladin again. So here we go. We've got another mistake. What can a paladin do by themselves? Nothing. So we're going to go paladin plus L1 rogue. Because we can't not have a paladin fighting alone. Paladin plus a level 1 rogue. So this demonic fire is pretty potent. Alright, so I'm not going to use anything they're going to attack with D20 because they have 16 agility. 7 against my 2, that is a hit. I will take a damage. Down to 2. I will attack them on their might. They've got 14 might. 18 is a hit. I kill the Patriarch. The rogue attacks me. They have a D4. 2 is a miss. They needed a 3. Attack with my might and finish them off. 6 more points for our dungeon monster. Gain an ability point up to 2. What are we gonna fight in this dungeon? 86. It's gonna be a paladin and an assassin. Whew. Yeah, and I don't want to go against the warlock, so we're gonna paladin and assassin. I have 2 ability points. I cannot use Die in the Flames. I'm going to use demonic fire, so I'm down to 1, and I'm going to make this guy's bonuses negligent this turn. So he still gets to attack with agility, but only with a d12 instead of a d20, which is probably still going to hit. I think I'm about to die from an assassin. 6 against my 2 is a hit, and if you remember correctly, if the heroes succeed on an agility attack, which they just did, I take an additional agility damage. So I must take 2 points of damage. I'm down to 1 health and 1 agility. 1 more hit from that assassin, and I'm done for. The problem being, I have to kill the patriarch first. Well, let's at least get some points for killing a priest. So I will attack. Their might is 10 because remember I used demonic fire. He's temporarily out of commission. I rolled a 14. I don't even have to use a dominion. I kill the patriarch. But the assassin came back. The very next roll, the assassin came back, and now I am a goner. The only way I'm going to survive this is the luck of the die. They get a d20 to attack, and they get, well, +2, so they actually have 18. And they only have to roll a 1. So there you go. Our diamond has perished after a long and arduous series of battles. You've seen all the things we went through. Diamond has been defeated. But how do we tabulate the points? I'm trying to make this in an interesting way, and it might actually be biased towards the diamond because of that. So first off, you add any time you had remaining. So I had 2 time remaining. So instead of 104, 106. You add any ability points you had remaining. I had 1 ability point remaining, so I'm up to 107. And then you add your dominion values. Now, I put it as an option, so it's kind of like a push your luck mechanic. You can either roll the value of your dominions, or you can take the half value of them. So for example, all my d6s, I could roll each one of them, or I could take 3 points for each one of them. I can't split them up and do half and half. So I'm going to do the risky way, and I'm going to roll 66s and hope that I get higher than 18, because 18 is the half value of 36. So we have 10, 11, 12. Ooh, 12 plus 18 is 30. So instead of taking the 18 half points, I actually rolled a total value of 30, so I'm at 137. But I could have rolled 6 ones and really regretted that decision. But once you've rolled, you cannot take backsies. So I used up those dominions. I have a d8. I'm going to take the half value of that d8, so up to 141. And I believe, oh, I also get 5 extra points for that being an assassin, so 146. And that is my point total, 146 in my first ever attempt to die in the endless dungeon. All right, that was a long battle, and rightfully so. We're already at an hour of recording here, so if anybody watches this entire video, that's pretty awesome. But that's how you die in the dungeon, and I'll be tweaking these rules significantly. I think I had a little bit too much leeway at the beginning of the game, and have to maybe only being able to manipulate dice every second turn is a way to mitigate that. And but beyond that, the only other rule I think was amiss was the clerics and patriarchs being on their own, because I avoided that with the regular classes, but I forgot about that when it came to the epic heroes in the level 4. So if you watched all that, thanks for watching. Having fun trying to make this game the best I can before it ever goes live to the public, and that's through continuous playtesting. You get to see some of it when I record it, some of it I just do late at night when I've got some time to spare. So, and I always look forward to other people that are playtesting the game and seeing what they do with it. So, thank you.